What's going on, everybody? C4 here, and day 2 is in the book for the 2018 NFL Draft, and this is going to be the last time I'm doing just a full recap of the grades. Next time before, rounds 4, 5, 6, and 7, I'm just going to do one final grades video for every single team. But right about day 2, there's still plenty of value picks here in the second and third round. So what I'm going to do is going in alphabetical order, rate each team, a quick take at their picks from the second and third rounds, starting with the Cardinals and going all the Arizona Cardinals and going all the way down to the Washington Redskins. So first up with the Arizona Cardinals, pick 47 of the second round, wide receiver Christian KIRK from Texas A&M. That is an A. He is instantly their second best wide receiver after Larry Fitzgerald, a great playmaker in the future for Josh Rosen. Third round, pick 97, offensive lineman Mason Cole. I'm giving that a B-. Great flexibility. You can play center, you can play guard, you can play tackle. That is just excellent value in versatility in the third round. So that's a B-. Going to the Baltimore Ravens, third round, pick 83, offensive tackle Orlando Brown, B. This was pretty much always going to be a Baltimore Raven pick, I think, and Orlando Brown might be able to come in and challenge for right tackle. Third round, pick 86, tight end Mark Andrews. With going Hayden Hurst in the first round, this makes no sense. I like Mark Andrews as a prospect, but I'm giving this a C, considering they still have Max Williams on the roster. Buffalo Bills, third round, pick 96. They select defensive tackle Harrison Phillips. Had a good little moment there with a famous Bills super fan that was getting rid of, battling through cancer. That was pretty awesome. Second best moment after the David Akers little conference there. I was selecting Harrison Phillips in the third round, 96, probably the successor to Kyle Williams, B+. Moving to the Carolina Panthers, first up, pick 55 in the second round. Cornerback Dante Jackson from LSU. That's getting a B+. Maybe I was a fringe A-, somewhere in that range. I need to get a corner. They got the fastest corner in the draft. Nice little pickup there. Pick 85 in the third round, defensive back Rashawn Golden from Tennessee. I'm giving that a C, kind of a reach for him. In my opinion, he's more likely a safety than a corner in the NFL. Going to the Chicago Bears at pick 39 in the second round. They got center James Daniels. Now, I'm giving this a C+. Good player. James Daniels is a solid center, but don't they have Cody Whitehair at center? Is he strong enough to be able to move into guard? I don't know. So I'm kind of surprised with that pick. So that's why. That's more so the depth chart is the reason why this pick's so low. In terms of the prospect, James Daniels could very well be a B+ territory. Pick 51 in the second round. Wide receiver Anthony Miller from Memphis. This is getting a B+ from me. Great slot wide receiver. Upside potentially was claimed to be the Antonio Brown of college football last year, so he might be able to hit those levels at some point in his NFL career. Those are lofty expectations, but is a great fit for that offense. So that's a B+ all day long. Go to the Cincinnati Bengals. Pick 54 in the second round. Safety Jesse Bates from Wake Forest is a B+. One of my favorite players in this year's draft class. Great playmaker back there. Who's he taking over for? Sean Williams, George Aloka? Who knows? 77th pick in the third round. Defensive end Sam Hubbard from Ohio State. I'm giving this a C. Why do you go D-end? You got Carlos Dunlap, Jordan Willis, Carl Lawson. Does not make sense to me whatsoever. But then at pick 78 in the third round, linebacker Malik Jefferson. This is getting an A grade for me. They need to get a linebacker. They had a guy, Malik Jefferson, whose name's been buzzing around. Potential first round. Pick 78, that is absolute steal. So great pick there for the Bengals, especially with Vontaze Burfict's suspension. Going to the Cleveland Browns, second round, pick 33. They started out with offensive lineman Austin Corbett from Nevada. Can play guard, can play tackle. Not going to lie, I feel like they could have got more value here at pick 33, so I'm giving this a C+. Pick 35 of the second round, they got running back Nick Chubb from Georgia. I'm giving that a B. Nice 3-headed running back attack there with him, Carlos Hyde, and Duke Johnson. Lots of upside there for Nick Chubb, too. He could very well emerge himself to be a very dominant runner in the NFL. And then at third round, pick 67, they got defensive end Chad Thomas. Now, I personally feel like Chad Thomas is more suited to be a 3-4 D-end. So as of right now, I'm just giving that a C+. Not really sure what that pick was about. Moving on to the Dallas Cowboys, who got absolutely roasted by David Akers. Pick 50 in the second round, they got offensive tackle Connor Williams. That is a B+, fringe A-. I don't necessarily know why he slipped. That's a good pick there for the Cowboys. Pick 81 in the third round, they got wide receiver Michael Gallup from Colorado State. B+, 2 back-to-back. Probably the best grade so far for any team, which pains me to say for Dallas. But they two really good picks at positions of needs. Denver Broncos. Pick 40 in the second round. Wide receiver Courtland Sutton from SNU. That's a B. I think long-term gives them some cap flexibility to maybe move on from either Emmanuel Sanders or Demaryius Thomas next season. Pick 71 in the third round. Running back Royce Freeman. I'm giving that a B as well. I always kind of thought Royce Freeman had to go to a team with a good offensive line to find a lot of success, and I don't necessarily think the Denver Broncos have the best of offensive line, but he's a good prospect. 99th pick in the third round. They got quarterback Isaac Yiadom from Boston College. Giving this a C+. A little bit of a reach. I personally had Yiadom as a 4th-5th round prospect, but good intangibles, good athlete, good size. So that's C+, not bad. Detroit Lions pick 43 in the second round. My boy, not the experts boy. Running back Kerryon Johnson from Auburn. B grade with upside to maybe be a B plus. Could end the 100-yard rusher streak in Detroit. Pick 82 of the 3rd round. Safety Tracy Walker from Louisiana Lafayette. C minus. What? This pick makes no sense. You have Glover Quinn. You have Tavon Wilson, Miles Killebrew. You have plenty of safeties back there. I feel like if you wanted to go safety, you could have got later on. Hell, Tracy Walker, I had him graded as a 6th-round pick. So, not a great pick there from Detroit. But Kerryon Johnson's nice. Moving to the Green Bay Packers, pick 45 of the 2nd round. Cornerback Josh Jackson. That's an A all day long. Sure did not test as well. Might not have the elite speed. But Josh Jackson, a guy a lot of people had mocked him the 1st. Getting him all the way at 45, got to be an A. Pick 88 in the 3rd round, linebacker Oren Burks from Vandy. C+. I wouldn't say inside linebacker is a massive need, but he is probably the best cover linebacker walking on that field. So it does feel a little bit of a need. So C+, maybe a little harsh, but I'm fine with giving that right now. Houston Texans pick 68 in the 3rd round, safety Justin Reed. That's an A grade. Justin Reed was a guy that was sniffed about in mock draft, about a 1st round grade. Great athlete. So that's an A. Him and Honey Badger, that could be a tandem for years to come. Pick 80 in the 3rd round, offensive lineman Martinez Rankin from Mississippi State. That's a B+. Great offensive lineman. Great versatility, can play tackle, can play guard, and Houston needs to get better at both tackle and guard, so that's a great pick there in the 3rd round. Pick 98, 3rd round, tight end Jordan Atkins from UCF. That's a D. With Ian Thomas, Chris Herndon still on the board. You go Jordan Atkins, you ran like a 5-something at his pro day. Very surprising pick there. I was very surprised Ian Thomas didn't go. So yeah, that's a D. That might be. There's only a couple D's we saw today, and we threw some D's on that bitch right there. Indianapolis Colts, 36 in the 2nd round, linebacker Darius Leonard, the player I had a Twitter beef with. That's a C. Given the linebackers that were still on the board, getting Darius Leonard, small school prospect that's undersized and didn't really show great athleticism, didn't test particularly well, solid tackler, good production. Don't really get that pick here. Pick 37 in the 2nd round, offensive guard Braden Smith. I've been higher on him than most. I think he has some flexibility, interior, exterior on the offensive line. Can play guard, can play tackle. That's a B-. Not a bad pick. 52 in the 2nd round, defensive end Kamoko Toure. Drawing a lot of comparisons to Yannick Ngakoue from the Jags. I'll give that a B-. Slight reach in the 2nd round. I thought it maybe even better value in the 3rd. And their final pick here, 64 in the 2nd round, defensive end Tyquan Lewis. So I guess they don't have Jabal Sheard, who's probably the best defensive player last year. They're just ignoring him. Maybe John Simon ignoring him as they switch to a 4-3. Tyquan Lewis, B-. Again, had him more so as a 3rd rounder. So a bunch of picks that, you know, if I'm a Colt fan, I thought maybe we could do a better job. Maybe get some more splashier names, some more dynamic playmakers. But no one really bad. I personally thought they could have done better, though. Jags, 61 in the 2nd round. They got wide receiver DJ Chark. I'm going to use a B- just because of, you know, anytime a guy just really rises because of his combine, I'm a little skeptical. But Chark does look pretty good. Height, weight, speed type guy. You know, you got to replace Allen Hurns. You got to replace Allen Robinson. They had some guys that are pretty good. But DJ Chark in the mix, not bad. So B-. Pick 93 in the 3rd round, safety Ronnie Harrison, A+. First A+ of the video. Ronnie Harrison was a fringe 1st round talent. The fact that, you know, because it's in the box safety, kind of hurts his draft value. In the box safety and, you know, defensive tackles that can't get up to the quarterback constantly fall. This is excellent value here for the Jags. The rich get richer. Gives them some cap flexibility moving forward. He can probably, I don't know if they view him more so as a strong safety, so then you can move on from Barry Church or a free safety and move on from Tashawn Gibson come contract cap time. So, but excellent pick here. A+ all day long. Kansas City Chiefs, a team I ripped on last year for a horrible draft. Let's see what they did. Pick 46 in the 2nd round. Defensive end Breeland Speaks from Ole Miss. That's a D. What are you doing? Draft a corner. Clearly, not a guy that's supposed to go in the 4th round. Pick 75 in the 3rd round. Defensive tackle Derek Noddy from Florida State. I'll give this a B. Not a bad pick. Nose tackle. Can play there for them. Fill in for Benny Logan. 100 in the 3rd round. Linebacker Dorian O'Daniel. I'll give this a B-. Cover linebacker. A little bit of a money at linebacker mold. So a guy that can drop back into coverage. They need to get better at linebacker. They're losing Rameek Wilson and Derek Johnson. So, you know, this is not a bad pick. Athletic linebacker. Moving on to the Chargers. Pick 48 in the 2nd round. Linebacker Chenna Wosu. Give that a B- just because, you know, he's more so a defensive end than in a 4-3. He's a 3-4 outside linebacker. If he's in a 4-3, I don't necessarily know you can have him an outside linebacker. I don't know if the coverage ability is there. So, a little surprising. But then again, I was surprised with the Joey Bosa pick when they're still running a 3-4. So, what do I know? And then in pick 84 in the 3rd round, defensive tackle Justin Jones with the Corey Lugier. We're always going to pronounce it that way here on the channel. Suspension, not bad. Justin Jones, NC State. A lot of NC State defensive linemen got picked here today. Safe pick, B. Moving to the LA Rams, pick 89 in the 3rd round, offensive tackle Joseph Noteboom from TCU. That's a B-. You know, a couple other tackles I like more than him. but ultimately I get the play. You know, he's going to be the eventual replacement for Andrew Whitworth. Could very well do that. Good athlete, tested well at the combine. So B-. Going to the Miami Dolphins, pick 42 in the second round, tight end Mike Gesicki. I'll give that a B. People ask me in the stream about that. I kind of feel like what you're going to get of him as a rookie is pretty much what you got out of Julius Thomas last year, an athletic guy, somewhat limited, but obviously you get a much higher ceiling there with Mike Gesicki, who's kind of, as a rookie, a poor man's Zach Ertz, which is plenty fine for the Dolphins, an upgrade over what they already had. And then there's pick 73 in the third round. They got linebacker Jerome Baker from Ohio State. I'll give that a B+. That's a great cover linebacker. Pairing him with, you know, you got Raekwon McMillan, you got Kiko Alonso, maybe a little TJ McDonald playing money backer. There's some interesting options there at linebacker for Miami for the upcoming season. Going to the Minnesota Vikings, pick 62 in the second round. Offensive tackle Brian O'Neill, very athletic tackle. Could potentially play right tackle for them, and you move Mike Remmers into guard. I'll give that a B-. Not a bad pick there for the Minnesota Vikings. Moving to the New England Patriots, 56 in the second round. Quarterback Duke Dawson, nickel corner from Florida. Give that a B+. He's a day one starter at nickel. Florida Gator bias, I know. New Orleans Saints, pick 91 in the third round. Wide receiver Traquan Smith from UCF. I'll give that a C+. I think there's a couple other names at wide receivers. That's where they want to go, that they could have looked at bringing in, but it's not a bad pick whatsoever. I'm still kind of surprised. Maybe Deshaun Hamilton, a slot guy, could have been better. Going to the Giants, pick 34 in the second round, offensive guard Will Hernandez. That's an A. Drafted Saquon Barkley, brought up big questions about their offensive line. Get a guy like Will Hernandez going against, you know, a solid starter in Nate Solder. You know, they're starting to build something there. Don't think it'll be there this year, but 2019, you get the quarterback situation sorted out. Maybe it's Davis Webb. I don't know. You might get something there. Pick 66 in the third round, outside linebacker Lorenzo Alexander. I'll give that a B+. Switching to a 3-4. You know, he's still a little bit of a project. You're kind of looking at him, you know, you bring height, weight, speed into consideration. You're talking about corners and wide receivers. He's kind of that for a linebacker. So project type player, but a very high ceiling. And the fact that you made that investment and only took you the 66th pick, that's a good risk versus reward there for me. So that's a B+. Pick 69 in the third round. Of course, you're getting at pick 69 a guy named BJ Innuendo. The Innuendo's strong on that one. BJ Hill from NC State. I'll get a C+. I assume they're going to probably have him play nose tackle, and he's slightly undersized there, but not a bad pick. Going to the New York Jets, pick 72 in the third round. D tackle Nathan Shepard, Fort Wayne State, I think it was. Either way, he's Canadian. I'm giving that a B-. I don't know if he's going to be used as a nose tackle. Maybe a little undersized for that. Probably may view him as a defensive end and line up on the other side of Leonard Williams, and they'll go Steve McClendon as their nose tackle. Either way, B-. High upside project type player. Going to the Raiders, pick 57 of the second round. They got D-tackle P.J. Hall from Sam Houston State. Incredible production, but again, still, well, you guys passed on linebackers. B- for P.J. Hall. 65th in the third round. Offensive tackle Brandon Parker from North Carolina A&T. I had him mocked my Eagles in like the 5th round. So I think it was a little bit of a reach here at 65. Still has some upside. Project type tackle. Maybe can learn behind Donald Penn. I don't know why though you go double dip in the tackle when you already got Colton Miller. So I'm going to C+. And then in the third round, pick 87, they got defensive end Arden Key. I'll give that a B+. That's a good value pick. High, you know, some risk reward there with Arden Key, off the field issues. But again, third round 87, I have no problem trying to take a gamble on a guy like that who, you know, if you look at his tape from a couple years ago at LSU, might have been the best defender in college. Going to the Philadelphia Eagles, pick 49 of the second round, they got tight end Dallas Goedert, South Dakota State. Backup tight end, going to be filling in for Trey Burton. He's going to get a lot of snaps, plenty of snaps, mismatch nightmare. I'll give that a B+. I like that pick. It was a safe pick. A guy I had on my list for the Eagles to potentially draft here. Didn't really like that we gave him a 5th round pick, though, to trade up to get him. But ultimately, we get the ultimate David Akers roast. And you figure maybe Dallas with the Jason Witten retirement was looking to get him, and we leapfrogged him, which is even sweeter. Moving on to the Pittsburgh Steelers at pick 60 of the second round. Wide receiver James Washington from Oklahoma State. That's a B+. That's a nice fit there. Replacing Martavis Bryant instantly. Should be able to get meaningful snaps as a rookie. Pick 76 in the third round. Quarterback Mason Rudolph. That's an A. You get a guy like Mason Rudolph who, you know, outside chance, but still has a chance to somehow, some way be the best quarterback of this draft class. Yeah, a little lofty goal, but I think he has the intangibles. Definitely the intangibles to eventually replace Ben Roethlisberger and have an opportunity to be the starting quarterback there. So that's great value there. Didn't have to really trade up for him. Sitting there at 76, that's an A. And then at pick 92, they get offensive tackle Chukwuma Okorafor from Western Michigan. I'll give that a B. Not really sure how they view him on the team. Maybe a guard, I would assume. Maybe the eventual successor to Big Ragu, Ramon Foster. Who knows? But that's a B. That's a good value pick. Going to the San Francisco 49ers, pick 44 in the second round. Wide receiver Dante Pettis. That's a C. More so a return specialist right now. I don't really know how he fits in the offense. If you have a deep threat, you already have that. Again, I'm a complimentary guy at wide receiver. You have your deep threat already. and I can't remember his name off the top of my head, the speedster from Texas. I don't know why, because he was pretty awesome last year. Or yeah, your slot guy. That's where maybe Pettis probably will play, but yeah, Pierre Garçon. So I don't really get that pick, to be honest. Marquise Goodwin is the deep threat. Third round, pick 70, linebacker Fred Warner from BYU. That'll be a B-. I think he's a solid corner. Nothing spectacular about him, but he should make the roster, and obviously you want that in the third round. And then at pick 95, safety Tarvarius Moore. I'm giving that a C+. You know, safety, you got Jimmy Ward, you got Corbett. Both those guys trying to make a claim at free safety. You just re-signed Jaquiski's card at strong safety, so I don't understand the need, but Moore is an incredible athlete, so, you know, he should be able to find a way to make an impact as a rookie some way or another. So that's a C+, but not the best of drafts there for the Niners in that little day 2. Going to the Seattle Seahawks, pick 79, they got defensive end Rasheem Green from USC. I'm giving this an A-. It would be an A, but just because Seattle keeps ignoring the offensive line, I'm giving them negative points on this pick. But I do like Green, and I think he has a very high upside. Going to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers at pick 38 in the second round, running back Ronald Jones from USC. That's a B+. That's a starting running back right there. 53 in the second round. Defensive back MJ Stewart. That's a B. He's a really solid guy. I don't know if they view him as a corner, as a nickel, as a safety. Either way, versatile defensive back. Pick 63 in the second round. Quarterback Carlton Davis from Auburn. Very physical. One of the most aggressive corners in the draft class. Giving that a B. Kind of reminds me a little bit of Josh Norman in terms of play style and mentality. Pick 94 in the third round. Offensive tackle Alex Kappa. One of the most violent offensive linemen in the draft. Maybe a little bit of a reach. I'll give that a B-. So I like them addressing the tackle spot. Maybe pushing for Donovan Smith, who's probably one of the worst starting tackles in football. Going to the Tennessee Titans. Pick 41 in the second round. Edge rusher Harold Landry. That's an A+ all day long. Harold Landry's first round talent. Sure, not good against the run. He's pretty much a one-trick pony right now in his career. But he's going to be able to come in on the Tennessee Titans, be a rotational guy with Derek Morgan or Brian Orakpo, and then, you know, while he develops to be a more complete player, that's going to kind of come at the time that Orakpo is, you know, going to retire, they're going to get released. That's a great pick. That's an A+. And then finish up with the Washington Redskins, pick 59 in the second round, running back Derrius Guice. Give that an A-. I feel like, you know, the off-the-field issues, the reason why Derrius Guice was slipping, supposedly got an altercation with the Philadelphia Eagles. Supposedly there's something else going on. Mike Mayock leaked it, that there's an embarrassing situation that hasn't been released yet. I feel like there is a reason why he slipped, because he is the second best running back in the class, but still got to give credit where credit is due. Talent-wise, that's an A-. And then at pick 74 in the third round, offensive tackle Jerron Christian from Louisville. Give that a B+. The main man that protected for Lamar Jackson, had him marked with the Philadelphia Eagles. Good athletic tackle. I feel like, you know, maybe eventual successor to Trent Williams, I would assume, because Moses is pretty solid as a starter. But there you go, guys. Those are your day 2 grades. I'm sure you guys have your own picks. You may agree or disagree with some of my grades here. Make sure you let me know in the comment section below. Let me know how you feel about your team's day 2 picks. That's pretty much it for me. I'm probably going to stream at some point tomorrow during the gap, more likely after the Philadelphia Eagles 2 4th-round picks. Hopefully we can select Shaquem Griffin. I would absolutely be hyped for that. But as always, guys, thank you for staying tuned with me throughout the draft. As always, if it's your first time stopping by, don't be afraid to hit that subscribe button, smash the like button if you enjoyed. Make sure you leave a comment in the comment section below about your team's draft picks. Until next time, it's C4 saying peace out. And actually, in drunken days, I actually forgot the Atlanta Falcons. So hopefully, Atlanta Falcons fans are still sticking around, not going, where the hell's my team? So for the Atlanta Falcons, in the second round, pick 58, they got cornerback Isaiah Oliver. I'm giving that an A. That is tremendous value for a guy that's considered first-round corner. They knocked off 2 immediate needs by bringing in Calvin Ridley in the first round and then bringing in Isaiah Oliver. That's an A all day long. And then at pick 90 in the third round, they got defensive tackle Deadrin Senat from South Florida. Give that a C+. I think a little bit of reach. I more so had him as a 4th, 5th. Tested well at the combine, though, and they need to add more interior, the defensive line, by losing Dontari Poe in free agency. But that Isaiah Oliver is the money pick for the Falcons. There we go. All 32 teams. We'll be back tomorrow.